Hello and welcome to this YourPMO video. In this session we're going to be looking at risks, issues, benefits, finances, in fact all the other sorts of project data that you collect as well as your plans. So as we said when we looked at plans, we see some of the data here when we first select our project, and this can be feeding from those source files that we're using in the project itself. So we're collecting the data in files. Let's go and have a look at that. So I'm in my process here and I've got a project controls document. I'm collecting risks and issues in my planner file. If I go and look at the preview of my planner file, yes, it's got tasks for my planning side, but it's also got a risk register in it and an issue register. And so that's where my risks and issues are coming from. I can have multiple risk and issue registers in the same way as I can have multiple plans if I want to, and sometimes people keep a change register, for example, or something like that. And I'm also bringing data from spreadsheets. So I've got a finances spreadsheet here, and I've collected some finances data, and that's been pulled through from here. I've got a budget and actuals, and the statistics and charts are coming through from here into my reporting. And I've also got a benefits spreadsheet down here where I'm collecting benefits data, and that also is pulling through into my reporting as well. So just like the same way as we do with plans, risks and issues, we can bring data from spreadsheets in your project. This can be set up automatically as it is with your standard methods, but you can also add your own spreadsheets and pull data out of them. So let's go and have a look at some of these things as they're coming through and how that's structured, and then we'll have a look at how we can add extra ones. So within my project, we can see the data coming from the files here, and I'm going to go and use the menu and come here to project reporting info. And we had a look at this when we were doing the planning video, and we were looking at adding our extra Microsoft project plan. These are the standard project controls, and as long as we add a file to here, every time it gets changed, checked out, checked in again, we read all the data in, and we can choose whether it's a risk or an issue type or a task type. So here we've got our risks and issues coming through. Once it's on this list, we do a standard set of things with it. We produce a standard set of statistics from it, and we bring all the data out of it and drop it into our database for use in the live analysis area. When it comes to spreadsheets, this gives us a very open area for doing what we want with it. So once we identify a spreadsheet and it's on this list, every time it gets changed, it gets read in. But what gets read in is defined by us here. So you'll see in the benefits area, for example, the benefits register, we've got quite a few things we're bringing back from the benefits register. Some of them are tables of content, some of them are images, and some of them are property ranges, and they all feed different parts of the system. So let's have a look at a couple of those. So if I select the benefits list and we view raw data, we can see what it's bringing back for us, which is a table of the benefits. It's actually a table which goes up to 20 rows, and what happens is it processes that. You can either have a very simple table where you just get what you grab something from a spreadsheet and drop it into the report. This is a processed one though, so it includes some codes. The codes are always hidden. Everything with a square bracket never displays in your final report, but it follows the instructions. So here we've got an instruction that says hide blank rows, remove blank rows, and then we append any non-blank rows. So the spreadsheet is set up so that a row is either full or empty using some logic in the spreadsheet, and then we'll see an appropriately sized table in our output report. Pretty straightforward to do. We just tell it that spreadsheet, that's the cell range we want, worksheet and cell range, or a named range. We're using named ranges largely here. We can also bring back a set of properties, and that's feeding straight into the properties database along with things like start date and end date, the project number of risks, things like that. And that's a very simple format from your spreadsheet. First column is the property name, second is the value. Just have one value per project. It can be text, it can be numbers. Anything you want within that cell will be fed back and treated in the way that you've specified. Pretty straightforward. And then you can do the same sort of thing with images as well. So we've got this image here, which is, oh sorry, that's the wrong one. We've got benefits summary, that's what we wanted. And this is an image generated in my Excel. Again, I've created a little area which has got some text on it, some colours, some charts, and that's been sent out as an image, which I'm picking up and loading into the system. So it's always got the latest available versions of all that data. Whenever we check the last file, and it brought it all out. So the system's doing a whole load of these things behind the scenes for you, and it does that automatically, sets all these things up automatically for a new project. But you can come and add your own if you want to. So if you've got a custom spreadsheet, say a list of assets that you want included in a project report, you simply load it in as a file, and then you come to here, you browse to that file, identify the file, and you identify what you want to bring out of it. Normally, that's a table or an image for the sorts of things that you're doing. And you simply identify that area, and then every time that file is checked in, that area will be grabbed and it'll be available to drop into reporting. So let's go and see some of that, how it comes through. So if I come to select project here, you'll see, for example, budget benefit value is the value 25,000 that came out of my spreadsheet from the properties. This is from a value from the finances spreadsheet. Number of open risks and issues are standard calcs calculated for me every time I update my risk and issue register. Same for plan start date, plan end date, percentage complete. So those things are just feeding straight in. If we want to make some changes to the data, we can see those adjust here. So I'm going to go in and create a new risk and leave it open, and we'll see that that number will go up to 8. So we'll come back here. Like I say, we make changes by adjusting the file itself. So let's go and find our file. And here we can edit it. Because it's a planner file, we can edit it live in Planner, which means we can do it live in the browser if we want to, just like we did with the plan earlier. So it's supporting tasks, risks and issues. We're interested in risks here. So here's my risk list currently. As we said, I'm going to add a new one. So we've added a new item 10 here at the bottom. I'm going to edit that. I'm going to give it a... we can use cause, event and effect, but we can just use cause. So I'm going to put lack of resource as my risk. It's going to be owned by me from the same resource list that we use for the plan side. I'm going to leave it open, and it's going to be an operational type risk. So we can change the pick list entries to match what it is that we're interested in here. And then I can come and score that risk using the standard categories: impact, probability, and sometimes proximity is scored. I don't think it is in this type of register though. So we've got a impact and probability. In fact, our new standard methods use a 5 by 5 matrix. So you choose an impact 1 to 5 and a proximity 1 to 5. And that calculates therefore a risk of 0 to 25. Residual risk will always be calculated as well. So we calculate both elements here because we like to have the ability to compare one against the other as you progress through, longer term, to see how that's changed. So there's my risk. I've got that set up. I could put some responses on it if I wanted to down here as well to show what we're doing to actually deal with that particular risk. I'm not going to do that in this particular case, so we're going to save it. And when I come back and look at my analysis for risks for this project, don't want portfolio. You see, portfolio is actually grouping together the risk from all of the different projects. It's portfolio. I'm just going to come back to my project, and we'll see I've got 10 now, of which 8 of them are open, 2 are closed, and that matches up with my stats back here. Come back and we'll see that's now gone up to 8 from 7 where it was before. So these things just happen automatically for you. Just change the file and that flows through, and that's going to flow all the way through into the reporting when we want to do our reporting as well. So using our standard templates, that happens really easily. Like I say, you can customize that and add in your own things if you want to, your own spreadsheets in particular to bring in extra data, or your own register types to bring in other such things. If you're doing lots of heavy duty changes to planner files, I often think it's worth taking that down and using the full planner app on your desktop. But for just simple changes like we did there, you can do that easily in the browser. Okay, thank you very much.